Good afternoon, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Positive, put on by the Queen's School by members of the Queen's School. Catch us on YouTube at the Queen's School JA. Don't only watch, but remember to subscribe, share, like, and leave your comments. This week's episode is part 2 on etiquette, and we're here with Mrs. Lewis-Dunn from the Home Economics Department. Mrs. Lewis-Dunn, welcome to Positive.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss White. It's a pleasure to be back.
And we're here for etiquette 2, where we're going to be looking at attire.
Yes.
Right? What is it about our attire that is the most important?
Well, the most important about your attire is that it is your identity. It's a representation of who you are before we know who you are.
I love that. So it is what they see first. Let's start this afternoon, and we're going to start with the Queen's School uniform.
Yes. And just like we said last week, the school uniform is a professional attire. So we're going to be looking at some professional wear and not excluding the school uniform.
Let's welcome Abigail, our first model.
Nice. So Abigail is professionally attired in her school uniform. You can see that it is where it ought to be, the length is good, the cuff is good at the elbows, and if you want the specifications for what your uniform ought to be, please refer to your school handbook. And Abigail is wearing the tunic that is worn by 1st to 5th form.
And we just want the students to understand that one of the reasons why the uniform is recognized as professional wear is because school is where you're actually working. So you are to dress for the occasion. Thank you, Abigail. Our next model is Karifa.
And Karifa is wearing the 6th form uniform. And Karifa too is also professionally attired. It's at the right length, and it has that A-line appearance. It's not too tight, and the specifications for this type of uniform can also be seen in the school handbook. And Karifa is really professionally attired. You know that if Karifa were to go and have dinner with the Governor General now, this is what she would wear?
Definitely, and she looks like the queen she is.
That's right.
Thank you, Karifa. Now, as soon as our young ladies step out into the world, it is actually the real working world. Summer jobs, Christmas jobs, little job opportunities will come up. So at this time, we're going to have a model in work attire.
In work attire. Remember last week I also gave some specifications based on what you asked. That it shouldn't be too tight,
yes.
The underwear should not be showing, there should be no imprinting. And so Chinkwi is going to beautifully demonstrate that for us.
Jessica.
Nice. And she is so modestly attired.
She is.
And there's one thing I also want to point out. Now, if you are uncomfortable with the sleeve that she's wearing, then you feel free to wear something with a longer sleeve. Can be 3/4 sleeve or long sleeve, but try to also bear in mind the environment in which you are working. If you're working in a hot place, I really wouldn't suggest a long sleeve shirt or top, and her skirt, it's not tight at all, it's right below the knee, it is leaving every single thing to the imagination.
Jessica, could you just turn around for 1 second for us, please? No prints.
No prints.
Not hugging.
Very good.
Thank you, Jessica. I want to thank the ladies for showing us work attire. And work attire here means your school uniform and what you could possibly wear on a job interview, whether it's a summer job or a Christmas job or even an internship. Right? Because some of our girls are going off to university, tertiary education, and they will have internships. We will be right back In our next segment, we will be talking with the guidance counselor. Welcome. At this time, we'll have our guidance counselor's tip. And our guidance counselor with us this afternoon is Mrs. O'Connor Turner. Welcome to Positive, Mrs. O'Connor Turner. No stranger here.
Thank you for having me, Miss.
So what's the tip this week?
So this week's tip is problem solving. Now we all have had our problems. Every day we face problems, but the way in which we deal with these problems makes a difference. So we have formalized an acronym for solving our problems, which is IDEAL. The first one is to identify the problem. The second is define the problem. And the third is explore the alternatives to the problems. And the fourth is to apply the solution to these problems. And the last one, which is very important, is to look back and evaluate the progress of the problem. That is very, very important. And that's how you will learn from those experiences. And then you will not allow that situation to reoccur.
I like the idea. So it is an ideal situation in order to solve problems. And as we said before, everybody has problems, especially during this pandemic era. So we identify the problem, we define the problem. So we have to understand where the problem is coming from. I guess that's what that means, yes. Right? And then our next step is to explore alternatives, the best way to solve it. Followed by applying what we have explored and then look back to see if these things actually have worked, yes, towards the solving of the problem. Certainly. What happens when the problem isn't solved?
All problems can be solved. The way in which we deal with these issues make a difference.
Okay, yes. Wonderful. And what is your best tip, apart from going through the steps?
Yes.
What's another best tip you probably have for problem solving? Or if you get into a situation, you're applying the ideal steps and you realize that the person that you're probably having a problem with is not necessarily seeing things eye to eye. What's another way you think we could, minimize what could happen in such a situation?
All right, my advice is that you can take a time out to give it some time, think about it thoroughly, and try and approach them. You'll approach them before. Maybe the way in which you approach them, you could be a little more gentle, a little more kind to dealing with the problem. Also, that will make even the situation a little lighter. And sometimes giving a time out really helps.
So actually walking away from the situation is not a cowardly act.
No, and then coming back to it after and discussing it. Maybe at that time the person will be a little more calm.
And receptive.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mrs. O'Connor Turner. You know you're always welcome here on the Positive set. We'll be right back. In this segment, we're going to be looking at formal and semi-formal wear.
Yes.
So we have Chevanice with us this afternoon, and Chevanice is wearing formal dining.
Formal dining.
Just before Chevanice comes out, what exactly is formal dining?
So, formal dining involves very, you have like a white tie affair or a black tie affair.
Okay.
So that is definitely a gown.
A gown.
A gown.
Beautiful. So let's welcome Chevanice onto our set.
Now, Chevanice, you remember last week when I said, to thine own body be true. Now, Chevanice, if you look at her hair is pulled back. She's just flaunting those, the neckline, the high collarbones, and she's just beautiful without jewelry. Now, notwithstanding, if she wants jewelry, she can add jewelry. And if she were to wear a neck piece, then she would wear like a pair of knobs, no long earrings. If she were to wear long earrings, then she would need a neck piece. But just as she is, she's just elegant and beautifully attired for a really nice white tie or black tie affair.
Very regal, very regal.
And if you'd notice too, Miss White, the bottom of the dress or the end of the dress, it really should be sweeping the floor. You know that
Yes.
Cinderella effect?
Yes.
Yes, that's what we want.
Thank you, Princess Chevanice.
Nice.
So now we have a semi-formal attire, and we're here with Karifa once again.
Yes. You know what I love about these models? They are so modest in their attire and just look extremely beautiful. Less is always more. And if it's just a simple dress, and the dress is almost like it accessorizes itself. So she has this waistband, the pink waistband. Now you can choose to change the color of the waistband if you want to match the shoe that you're wearing. And because of the imprint, it has it's embossed, so which means that it has like raised prints on it. Then she really wouldn't. Limited jewelry is I would recommend for this wear. She could just wear a pair of knobs if she wishes, a simple wristwatch, and she's good to go.
While Karifa is still with us, what's the major difference between semi-formal and formal?
Alright, so formal, like I said, is a white tie, black tie affair. Semi-formal is right in between. So semi-formal, it doesn't need to have a long dress affair. Semi-formal tends to indicate a cocktail party or even an evening out with friends. And for us in our culture, we tend to use it more at church.
Okay.
For church
Graduation.
setting. Well, you know, by right, graduation is a formal setting, but to kind of get away with it in our culture as semi-formal,
Okay.
and it's okay because the climate too. It's
Yes.
really hot in Jamaica, so a gown at graduation really wouldn't be feasible. So that's why only the graduates would wear the gowns.
Understand. Love it. Thank you, Khalifa.
Yes, so, and I want to encourage our young girls. So say for example, I like to wear pants.
Mm-hmm.
Pants can still be semi-formal.
So pants would not be considered formal.
No, absolutely
Not by a young lady.
Not for a woman. Absolutely not.
Okay. But we can wear a nice pantsuit or tailored pants
Yes.
in a semi-formal wear.
Yes, you can. You know the palazzo pants, the
Yes.
pants that flare. A lot of women would wear that, and that is very appropriate for semi-formal. And even a skirt suit, it depends. We have some very fashionable skirts. Isn't the poofy skirts, the ones that just flare, and you know you just twirl and you that princess look. That is also appropriate for semi-formal.
We're going to welcome Chevanice again, and this in semi-formal attire with a little twist.
Nice. So Chevanice's twist is risque, more risque.
Very.
You know, the other one was a little bit more modest, and this is risque, and she's still looking quite regal. Beautiful, the dress hugs her in all the right places, and she still is leaving everything up to the imagination.
Very much so. And once again, it's not very hugging either,
Yeah.
but it still does something to show up, you know?
You know, this would be a very good representation of knowing your body and being very true to your body.
Very true.
Very true.
Because
to
not
your
everybody
body.
can pull this off.
No, not at all.
And what I really like is the bag.
The
and
accessory is
shoes. Yes.
beautiful. The leopard print, it just matches so beautifully with the blue. It's nice, royal, vibrant
Yes.
blue. And if you look at her face, she's confident. She knows what she has. So flaunt it, girl.
Thank you so much. So we have looked at work attire, or we've looked at formal dining, we've
Yes.
looked at semi-formal attire, and so now we're going into casual. Now there must be different bands of casual, just like how, you know, formal can be, well, we definitely know the difference between formal and semi-formal
Yes.
now, and I have learned something, right? Let's talk about casual a little bit.
Well, you know, most of our students, or even just us, you know, our attire tends to be casual. You know, you're going out with friends, yeah, throw on a pair of jeans, a nice top, shoes, you're more on the casual side. Now, the casual, there are really no rules per se to casual, but I will tell you this. The casually elegant or casual elegant is more colloquial than it actually is as a type of attire.
Really?
Yes, there's no in between semi-formal and casual.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And that's wonderful to know. And once again, we're looking at leaving things to the imagination, where, you know, more is actually
less is more. Less is more.
more.
Less is more. And you know, oftentimes, so I want to just kind of go back on that point about the casually elegant or the casual elegant. Sometimes you can actually kind of just jazz up your casualness. So
Okay.
it doesn't have to be flat, it can be with heels and whatever. But this is pending the time of day. So you can separate your casual attire from day wear to night wear, but you're still classified as casual.
I like that.
Yes.
And I did, because I really didn't know that there was a difference. So now we have Shalanice again in casual wear.
Really, really nice Chevanese. And you know what, I cannot stop stressing this with our mothers and our young ladies. Less is more. She's not even wearing any kind of accessories. No jewelry, no bags, nothing. And she's just beautiful and looking quite modest in her attire.
Even though it's ripped jeans.
Even though it's
still
ripped
very
jeans.
modest. I
Still
like
very
that
modest.
one.
No, Miss White, remember that conversation we had earlier in terms of the day casual from the night casual? Now, all Chevanese would need to do to just turn this, transform it into night casual, is to put on a pair of heels and she can wear a blazer, a solid color blazer. So go ahead, Chevanese, and show them.
A total transformation.
Total transformation.
And then she can just put on a pair of heels. And it becomes night casual.
Night casual.
A wonderful transformation.
And look at her now.
Totally different.
Totally different. This is night wear. So she's gonna go out for dinner with friends, you know, after graduation, anything like that, and just to have fun with her friends, even family. This is what you
And
would
what
wear.
I really like about this is that you can literally take anything inside of your closet. You don't have to go out and buy something spanking new. You can use what you have, spruce it up, add a little accessories, add a pair of heels, you know, a wristband
Yes,
bag or something
simple
like
wristband.
that. Just even a watch can make a difference.
And you know, Miss White, I'm going to mention, there are some classic pieces that as young ladies, I would encourage you to always have in your wardrobe. A solid color blazer.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with black. I can tell you that you can't go wrong with black. A black pair of skirts, solid color jeans. You can have a ripped one, unripped one. If you don't like pants, you can wear skirt. You can wear the jumper. I mean, the variations is just so wide.
And
so
every
wide.
young lady should have a little pump.
Should have a little pump. And now, you see like what Chevanese is wearing, if you're not comfortable with this height, you can wear wedges. You can wear a lower size heel. You know, there's some really beautiful sandals. No, I'm not going to go spend out a little money and go buy the Bridgets and the Tory Bird.
Definitely not.
No. But you can look for the imitations that can kind of
Pass on.
pass off. Stick to your budget, okay? Stick to what you can afford. And trust me, the rest is history.
Mrs. Lewis-Dunn, thank you so much. We have learned so much in this one session, right? I just want to know that you are always welcome here at Positive, because you always have the best advice, especially when it has come on to etiquette. So we did sitting and dining last week. This week we're looking at attire, and we really see what our young ladies are to look like. And I want to thank my young ladies. All of them are from the sixth form body,
Yes.
right? For being our models this afternoon. Wonderful job, ladies. And I hope that our viewers have learned a lot in this session this week. So Chevanese, thank you so much. Abigail. Jessica. once again, I want to thank Mrs. Lewis-Dunn for her expertise this week. And don't forget to watch us next week, because we have the 3rd episode of Etiquette, where we're going to actually be looking at makeup. How to apply makeup and makeup for day and evening, right? So stay tuned for the next episode of Positive next week. Don't forget to share, subscribe, like, and comment. The Queen's School JA.